All right, like I said before, we're going to talk about what happens here in this next stage of bringing the dog into a closed environment like the inside of a home to begin doing the search. It's going to be greatly different when you're doing the cinder blocks, even in a garage. Many of us do training on the outside in the field or in a portion of our outside yard if we have a kennel or some type of shelter that we work in. But bringing it in to have the dog search furniture, where I have 5 kids, right? And 4 of them still live at home. Some of them are really small, and they like to hide cheese behind the couch. Strangely enough, he's a 3-year-old, so because he likes the kind with the wax on the outside, so he prefers to chew on the wax and toss the cheese behind the couch, or even in the cushions of the couch. I've discovered it there. And so on and so forth, dirty socks here and there, or something, half a pizza they've thrown away in the trash can. So bringing a dog who's been working in what would be considered probably mostly sterile environment, other than the normal odors inside that garage, into a home which is fruitful in odors, I guess that's a good way to say it, is going to be extremely different. So we're going to take a look at 2 separate days of training. I think it's 2. Yes, 2 separate days of training. And the very first search you see in these series of videos is the very first time that Charlie has conducted a search inside this home. He during the testing phase over in Northern Ireland, he was tested in a closed environment to search for a tennis ball. But this will be the first time he's in a closed environment in a really new environment where you have all the distractions of people living within a home, especially children, and searching for the new odor that we're trying to make a connection to, and there can be some fall off. So I'm going to begin playing the videos. I'm going to speak over the videos just a little bit, but I want to kind of give you an idea of what it is that you're going to see. And again, I will be speaking over the videos that you're about to see. So let's go ahead and take a look at the very first video, and I'm going to take you through some of the things that, as a trainer, that I'm thinking about, and what you're seeing, and what the expectations are for this very first time searching for bed bugs in a closed environment. All right, the first thing you need to remember is this is the first time Charlie has been inside of a home and searching it. And there he goes. I don't know how he spotted that. That's a case for some wireless headphones. I'm not sure how he spotted that, but he did. Or he smelt it and went up there and tried to grab it. But the good news is he left it alone. He's not overly focused on it. And I didn't touch it or grab it to put my attention on it. So now because I didn't, he's not showing attention. Now, as you can probably tell, the bed bugs are in that left-hand corner of the couch. And I'm going to be very obvious to him to show him where they're at. I want him to have a success. I'm not going to leave it up to him to try to find this, because, again, this is something he's never done before. The only thing that is even closely related to anything he's done up to this point is the fact that there's live bed bugs in a plastic bag that are kind of hidden underneath that cushion, at least hidden for now. All I want to do is get his attention over there so that he can go to source, and I'm going to help him go to source. Now, he's in the odor. That's why he's jumping around and kind of excited. He can smell it. He just can't figure out what to do because there's no cinder block. I'm not in the position I was inside the garage. You see that shaking? That shaking is information that he's thinking, he's confused, he's nervous because he smells it. He doesn't know what to do. He's in a place that he's never been before. He's doing something that he's never been before, and that shake is significant. So just keep that in mind, because you're going to see that a couple times, only when he's in odor, though. And that's how I know that he has at least his olfactory system has a basic understanding of what that odor means. It means that he's supposed to do something. He just doesn't have a full picture exactly what that's supposed to look like. And you look at that excitement level when he smells it. He just doesn't know what to do, right? His brain is kind of just like going, I don't know, I smell it, I forgot, because something's missing. The cinder blocks are missing, the garage is missing, the odors in the garage are missing. You're bending over the top of me looking like a very aggressive man. I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do. So that's what all this is. And so now we have to teach the dog something else. Again, the only thing that stays consistent is that it's the bed bug odor. So at some point you got to kind of give the dog a break. Let him kind of wander around and reset, and then here I'll pick up the leash so that he can't run around the entire house, which to me it looked like he was getting ready to do, like just to take off, just basically look around the house because he's never been in here before. So now we're going to go back over there. Again, I want to help him be successful. This isn't a time for play, but I'm not giving any corrections. I'm not expecting any kind of searching pattern. Well, there was a shake there. He had passed by the odor and then came over to that position and shook. But again, the shaking is information. It is telling you that he's just confused, kind of not quite sure what he's supposed to do. But it's good information. It's not bad. All right. So there his nose goes on it. Now I'm going to tell him what to do. I'm going to actually tell him to sit. You might be, I don't know if you can hear me, but you can. So there he sits without the sniff. So now I need to put the two things together. I've seen him sniff and I've seen him sit. Now I need him to sniff and then sit. And I need it to be fairly close together. There's a sniff. There's a sit. There's a reward. All right. And then we'll play for a little bit. I think actually I come over here, I turn off the camera as I'm playing with him, and then I turn the camera back on, and that's just so that we don't have to be bored to tears as I'm playing with the dog. And in a moment here, you'll see suddenly I'll be searching again, but just know it's just because I edited the part of all the playing. There we go. And we're going to start searching again. All right, I didn't go out of the house. I didn't leave. I didn't do anything else. I just played with him a little bit, and now I'm kind of giving him direction, but not as much as I was before. But still, you'll see at a point here, I have to actually lift up that cushion. There he sits, thinking, well, maybe if I just sit, maybe this is a new game. Maybe that other game is, we're done with that game. Now the game is just simply sitting. There he smells the odor. Like he's obviously attracted to it because you saw him lick his lips. He's looking at me going, hey, I found it. But I forgot what I'm supposed to do. His tail's wagging. He's happy, right? Because he knows that the odor is near, or he knows that he's in the spot where we got warded last time, right? And so we really have to paint a picture here for the dog to help him understand that it's about him finding that odor, letting me know he found it by sitting. Again, all the excitement is telling you that he can smell the odor, that he knows that something's about to happen. He just hasn't quite put all the pieces together yet. So here I'm allowing him to process what's going on. I'm waiting to see if he's going to do anything on his own. He doesn't. So I give him some direction. He goes back between the two couches. Now this is an old couch that I kept around for bed bug detection for the time being. I'll end up throwing it out, but it's an old couch. It's got crumbs in it, and who knows what the kids have hidden in there from time to time. There may be some stuff still hidden in those couch cushions and springs, because it's an old couch. It's been around for a long time. The new couch is what the camera's sitting on. All right, so again, we're just going to make this so obvious. Look at me lifting up the cushion there, making it so obvious. We're going to give the dog a break again. We're going to come away, kind of reset, let his brain kind of just mellow out, and then we're going to start again. Sniff. He goes up and smells that holder, that case. He did a good job of sniffing that chair. He's sniffing the other couch, which is a, what do they call that? I forget what they call it. There, he smells the odor again. Look at and he looks at me like, dude, it's right there. Aren't you supposed to throw me the toy? Yeah, I am, but you're supposed to be sitting. So I'm giving him the opportunity to think through it. Sometimes when they think through it, they will become successful, and they will go back to the odor on their own sometimes. Lifting up the cushion, getting him close to source. He smells it, tastes it. Did you see the tongue come out? That's all good stuff. Smells it again, tastes it again. Smells it, tastes it. See the tongue come out again? I help him sit. Now I'm reminding him, now let's put the two together, buddy. Come on. I'm encouraging him. We're not giving him any pressure. This is all encouragement. There's no correction. There's no harsh words. All right, I'm going to walk away. Bam, he goes back towards it on his own. All I need to do is walk away. He's like going, no. Bam. So what I'm rewarding there isn't necessarily the closeness between the sniff and the sit. It's the fact that when I was leaving, he took me back. That is definitely something I want the dog doing in the future. And I wanted to make sure and reward that he decided on his own, I'm not going anywhere because I know the odor is over here. I know I'm supposed to do something. I helped him out by giving him the word. He then sat, and I rewarded him. So that was really important. That's something, if your frustration level ever is kind of starting to peak at this point, it's those moments that it should all go away, because there's where you see it all starting to come together in the dog's brain. That he's really, again, the dog has no clue. He's just a dog. He can't figure out where he's at. right? He can't figure out why he's in here. He can't figure out, and there's that shake again. That's nervousness, thinking. It's the stress of being in school and not understanding the equations. You know that feeling when you're, in your class for the first couple days and they're teaching something that's difficult, maybe algebra or trigonometry, and you're just like, I'm never going to get this. That's that shake is. There he sniffs it, closes his mouth, and then there's the reward. Nice. That was a lot faster, right? And so those are the moments. Those are the things we're looking for to see how things get better. I didn't have to lift up the cushion as much or point at it or stick his head down there. I had to do none of those things. All right, so now it's time to change positions because we've just, did that enough. And here I have another old couch that it's going to be thrown out to pretty soon, the next couple weeks after I get done training this dog. And there's a tear in the cushion from the kids jumping on it, of course. And so that's where I'm going to put the bed bugs. I'm just putting it in a new spot, something different than what we just did to keep things progressing. I want it to be a different look. I want it to be a different place. Now it is a couch, that's okay, but it's in a different spot. And this is, again, this is still the very first day. This is the same day as that training we just saw. It's actually about 15 minutes later. Look at that sniff now. That's really good. That tells me that he probably smells odor. Is it the bed bug odor? I'm not sure. Look at that excitement when he smells the bed bugs. He shakes, he looks at me, he jumps up and down, he actually sits. That's a delayed reaction. I'd prefer not to have the delayed reaction, so some people might reward, and on another day I might have rewarded that. But here I'm going to ask for a little bit better. Here I'm going to ask for the dog he's now sitting. Hey, dude, I smelt it, I sat. It may not have been fast, but at least, in his brain he's thinking, I smelled it and I sat. But for me, on this day, I want it to be a little bit better. I want it to be more closely tied together. And he's trying hard, right? He's trying to convince me. So I'm going to wait for him to figure it out. There he smells it. And he sits. Nice. There's the reward. But he missed it. Darn it. I remember when that happened too. I just went, man, we could have had that one, but it fell out of my armpit. But here we're going to reboot. Again, there's in detection work, because it's pain-free, it should be mostly stress-free. We can have those hiccups. We can ask for perfection. He's still thinking I'm going to find that ball. That I saw the ball. I smell it on the ground. And there we go. The only thing we didn't get there is a complete sit, but that's okay. We're trying to recover from a little faux pas there. All right, there's a cut in the video, and here we come back again. We're going to follow up with another search. See if we can get a little bit better than all the extra garbage that happened there. But that's dog training. All right, he's kind of spinning around me. He's trying to figure it all out. Again, these are very short dynamic searches. This is really not, we're really not focusing on the search aspect. We're focusing on what he's supposed to do when he finds the odor. The searching will come as we make sure and get this understanding down. Now, he didn't smell it, he just sat. He probably can smell the odor. Nice. Show me the source. That's what I want him to do. I want him to show me source and then sit. All right, so that's it for that day of training.
Good boy.
And so we're going to come back the next day. You can tell that it'll be the next day because I'm wearing a different shirt. It'll happen here in just a second. I actually left the bed bugs there overnight, so they were there for 24 hours. Excuse me. That'll give us a little bit different scent picture for the dog. But there's no way that there's no bed bug odor there, right? All right, so here we come in the next day. You're going to see the picture change here just a little bit. The curtains will close. I was trying to take away from that backlighting. Right about now. About now. There we go. All right, this is the next day. Let's see what happens. By him going away on a positive note, we should see progress. Sniff an outlet there. Going back to searching. Nice. Again, we're not looking for perfection in the search. We're just looking for the understanding that when he goes to odor, he's supposed to.
Nice! Nice!
The butt wasn't completely down either. I kind of missed that too. But anyway,
Good
For the most part, that was
boy.
90% exactly what I want. We just needed that last percent, and that's his butt to hit the ground, which we'll do it again. So I think the only reason I did it again is because I rewarded him on a non-sit. I didn't want him going away without having the butt touch the ground. So we're going to come back and do this one more time. But again, we're seeing progress, right? Looks way better than that very first search that we did at the very beginning of this particular broadcast, which is hugely different from his very first time doing a search in this room. So I'm starting from the other end. He's sniffing, searching, sniffing. That's a good head into the cushions look right there. He goes to the source and sits, butt all the way down. Much better. Now, that's one I can end on. Sorry about my GoPro there. For some reason, it went into slow motion every so often, so that's why you're getting that really odd sound. But that's it. That's what we wanted. That's a couple days of the introduction of searching the interior of a home, and I hope that was helpful to you. So let's go ahead and go back to our screen, and we'll talk a little bit more about what it is that we had going on here. All right.